Hi, welcome to the Fibremorphics podcast. I'm Nina.
And I'm Hope.
And it's the 30th of October today.
Before Halloween.
Yeah, just before.
Yeah. Although we don't really do Halloween in New Zealand.
No, we don't, do we?
No.
Yeah.
So sorry, there's probably not any Halloween themed projects in our podcast.
No, not really.
That's all right. Yeah. What's your usernames?
Oh, yes, usernames.
Yeah.
Okay, so Burnt Violet on Ravelry, and I'm So Fjords on Instagram.
Awesome. And I'm Hopi Dunks on Ravelry and Hopi_Dunks or the Fibremorphic on Instagram.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so what are you wearing today?
Today I am wearing the Campside Shawl by Alicia Plyer. So this one I did out of John Q. Heather's DK yarn. And it's kind of big. Yeah, it looks way bigger than it does on. And it did take a while to knit. But yeah, I love it. It goes with everything. I was trying to find something that would go with my can't remember the name of this pattern, but my shirt today.
Your plaid shirt.
Plaid shirt.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And this was the only thing that wasn't too lacy. It didn't involve colour work, so I felt it wouldn't clash. But yeah, it's a fantastic pattern. I really like it. It's so simple that it's difficult because you've got to count. You've got to be meticulous with your counting. And if you are off at all, then all of your little eyelets are in the wrong place.
Oh, they would be too.
So I did many a ripping out with this shawl. Right. But it was very much worth it in the end. And it's my go-to for cold days.
It looks just really cozy.
So massive.
Yeah, so, you can wrap yourself in it.
Yeah.
Lovely.
So that's what I'm wearing. So what are you wearing?
I'm wearing the 10-stitch wrap by Frankie Brown, and the yarn is Flagstaff Alpacas, which is a local alpaca farm here in Dunedin, and it's dyed by a person called Do Arnott. And
oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Yeah, you can buy it in Oamaru. They have that Victorian sort of part of town.
Textile
Emporium. It's really nice. So yeah, it's an interesting pattern because it starts off here basically, winds its way around, and it has lots of short rows to do the curves. So it's knit sideways, and you can see the colour change about halfway through. So I bought 2 skeins of 4-ply yarn, and they look the same in the skein, and when I knit them up, surprise, surprise, they turned out quite different. But it doesn't matter. I still like it.
So do you know what it's dyed with? Because I know she does a lot of kind of plant-based dyeing.
I have no idea, actually. Didn't say anything about it.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
So if you want to follow her on Instagram, I think she's Doe Spins, but I will double-check that and put up the correct Instagram name. But her work is really nice.
Yeah, she has some beautiful colourways.
Yeah. What have you got on the needles this week?
I've still got the same projects as last week, pretty much. I have my socks and I'm doing it for my partner, and they're nearly done. See, I'm up to the ribbing on the cuff now. So I'm just going to work until I run out of yarn. But I've tried them on him and they fit really well.
Oh, good.
He's quite happy with them.
Yeah, it's like number one worry the socks, especially for other people.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah. Looking forward to getting these off the needles soon and starting something different because I'm getting sick of knitting shawls and socks, to be honest.
Yeah, totally understand that.
The finished objects are really nice, but I just want something different, maybe a jumper or a hat or something.
Yeah. Which kind of bind off are you going to use?
What have I used in the past? I've used just a standard.
Well, have you tried? Is it
colour
Judy's Magic bind off or Judy's Stretchy bind off?
Stretchy bind off. I haven't tried that yet, but I probably should.
It's really good, but I'm always kind of torn when doing socks because my bind offs, if they're normal, they tend to keep my sock up because they're the tight component, but then they're not as comfortable. So it's difficult. But you'll have to let us know what you do next week.
Yeah.
Really good.
Wanted to share my project bags because I haven't really said anything about them so far.
Yeah.
So I've been making quite a lot of project bags this year, and this is one of them. It's just like a sock size bag, and it's lined lined with the same fabric, and it's got a nice square bottom and drawstring. So they're really simple and quick to make, but
That's awesome.
they do a good job. And here's another one with the other sock in it, and keeping my socks separate so that they don't get tangled up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tangled socks are the worst.
Yeah.
There's one thing I hate about Magic Loop is you've got 2 socks on one loop and you always get tangled.
Yes. Definitely.
So where do you get all of your material for your project bags?
I think I got these ones in a fabric sale recently. But I'm pretty much a thrifter, so I'll find things in op shops, and I often buy from Shop on Carol as well.
Yeah.
They have quite good fabric selection.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah. So the next work in progress I have is my building blocks cowl. And I'll show you the bag that I made as well. So this is made out of silk, just scraps of silk that I patchworked together, and plain silk on the other side.
I love how neat your patchworking is. Like everything lines up.
Not
It's
quite.
So wow.
There's some bits.
Before I saw that, everything lined up.
Yeah. It's hard. I find patchwork hard to be really accurate with.
Yeah.
You know, I enjoy it.
It looks good.
And it's a really good way to use up scraps of fabric.
Yes.
And it's lined with that on the other side. Flowery fabric. So
I can't wait to see this.
I really haven't done that much on it this week, but I've started clue 2.
Yep.
The brioche. So
Yes, we caught up on Friday, so it'll be cool to see how far you've gotten since Friday.
Exactly. Because the I think some people have already finished the cowl.
Yeah, some have. It's crazy. I think there was just to me, it seemed like a couple of hours after the final clue came out, people were finishing. I was like, oh my gosh.
They must have knit the small size because I think they were binding off. They were doing either small or medium.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, God, I'm so tangled. But here's the shawl. And, yep, I am in halfway into a row. So I can't even show you properly. But I'll try and show you. Where are we? That's the right side. So this is the brioche section so far. And I received last weekend last Saturday was my birthday, and I received the most lovely parcel from Hope, and included in that were these lovely stitch markers, which she showed off last episode, I think.
Yes. Yeah, I was trying to be sneaky and show them off without letting her know they were part of her present.
Oh, you did a good job.
Yes.
It was a surprise. Yeah, really needed some stitch markers because, this shawl takes like 20 or something.
Yeah.
I don't remember how many.
Well, he said 17, but I don't know if maybe that's for the small one, because to me it feels like way more than 17.
It is. So yeah, enjoying the brioche section. More interesting than just the plain stockinette and garter that was getting a bit dull. But,
yeah.
Still working.
I only have one whip this week. I have been very monogamous, which is not like me at all. So other projects are being ignored. And mine is my building blocks cowl again. I'm keeping it still in the same bag because it's nice and bright. But with it going everywhere with me, it is picking up so much dirt on the white. So I think this is going to be a frequently washed bag. Or I might have to put a dark bottom on it or something to keep it from getting stained. So I am almost finished clue 3 and ready to start clue 4. I think I'm about halfway through. And mine is looking decidedly like Tweety Pie from the Looney Tunes because of my colours, which is fine because I like Tweety Pie. But this is what we have got so far.
Fantastic.
So yeah, I've really enjoyed it. I made a huge mistake in section 4, so that yellow section there. I ended up with one of my blocks. It had almost 10 stitches more than it should have. And I knit the whole thing and the brioche section without realising. And then I went to do section 6 and was like, this doesn't feel right. And so I looked back and I thought, how did you not notice this, Hope? So it was with much crying and gnashing of teeth that I ripped out 3 sections and reknit them because it was just far too obvious. But the rest of the shawl, I've been finding I've been fudging occasionally because I end up with one too many or one not enough.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, it's so easy to do.
It is. If you like miss one increase in one of those sections.
Yeah, and then trying to work out where you missed the increase to rip back to is just a nightmare. So I've just been correcting in the every even section is kind of the same. So they're the ones kind of without a pattern. And I've been correcting in those because I figure it won't show as much. But yeah, I'm kind of hoping that the grey that I'm putting in it now will tie it all together a bit more and make it look a little bit less Looney Tunes. But yeah, I'm happy with it so far. I think it's kind of turning out smaller than yours.
Yeah,
which is odd because my exploration station was bigger.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because if we put this on top,
what's the size like comparison? Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, yours is quite a bit bigger.
How weird.
Yeah.
Huh.
This is going to be really interesting to compare side by side when we're done.
True.
Because, yeah, if you remember to our last podcast, we showed off our exploration stations, and mine was substantially bigger than Nina's.
It was.
But we'd done everything the same. Whereas this one, I think, are you using a 3.75 for yours?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, see, I'm using a 3.25.
Ah, that would be why.
Yeah.
This is a tighter gauge.
Yeah, and it's a slightly different yarn. So I'm using the machine washable from Anna Grattan. So, yeah, we'll see how that goes. But I'm looking forward to finishing it. Again, it's one of those things that it's a really simple pattern, so your counting has to be exact.
Yeah,
and
it shows, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's one of those things that I want to be watching something while I do it because it's so simple, but if I watch something, I inevitably make a mistake. So, but we'll see how it goes in the end. I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of bind-off options there are. And
I've already looked at it.
Oh, have you? Okay, don't tell me.
I won't tell you. No.
Yeah. Right, FOs. Neither of us have any.
Nope.
Yeah, the weather, we're going into spring and we're kind of in that transition season, and the weather this past week has been horrible.
It rained a lot on Friday.
Yeah. We've had a few really nice sunny days and it's kind of tricked us because we're like, oh my gosh, spring's here, awesome. And then we've just had like almost sleet and things. So, so I don't have any FOs because I haven't sewn the ends in and I haven't blocked them because it's been raining. Which sounds like an appalling excuse, but really they need to go outside to be blocked. My house isn't big enough. So, that's me for FOs.
Yeah.
Sorry, folks.
Well, I'm getting close, but maybe next week or 2 weeks' time.
Right, we'll definitely have building blocks.
Yeah.
That'll be our main FO next time.
And the socks. I should have those done as well.
Yeah. If we don't have those, so spinning. Have you done any this week?
Yes, I have actually. So we're going to talk about this later, but we went to the Creative Fibre Open Day in Moscow recently. That was on Tuesday.
Yes.
Yeah, Tuesday. And I bought some fleece. I got some Romney and some Merino, and they're both undyed. So I've picked up another dyeing and spinning project. So what I've gone for this time is like a blend of both fibres. So and mostly greens, like shades of green, but also a bit of purple and blue. So I'm sort of going for a tweedy look. I'm not sure if you can see the colours that well on the camera. But
we'll put up a photo.
We'll put up a better photo of it. So what I did was I took a colour and I would pull out strands of it, put it into my drum cutter. I do one layer of one colour and then keep on doing layers of other colours. And then I took it off the drum cutter and I fed it through again. Yep. So I blended my colours even further, which is why it's so, tweedy.
It's so fluffy.
It is fluffy. It's like a cloud. And this is what I've spun so far. And I'm going for a 10 ply weight, like an Aran weight yarn.
Okay.
And I'm spinning it quite thin, but I'm going to Navajo ply it.
Yeah.
On itself. So there you go. You get the idea of how thick that is. That's really nice. So a sweater's quantity. I'm not sure what pattern to do yet.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking maybe some kind of cardigan with cables.
Yeah. No, that would look really nice in kind of a tweed. Yeah. Well, that would be good.
Yeah.
So I just have a very small amount of spinning for the week. I've only just started it last night because I realised that I hardly had anything to show for the podcast, so I needed to do something. So a couple of weeks ago, I sent away some pieces of fleece that I had to get carded. I do have a drum carder, but I find it's better for blending fibres than it is for actually carding them. So I don't like to put my raw fleece through unless it's for like an art bat, because it just doesn't do it that well. It's a little bit old. So I use cane carding in Donnybrook here in New Zealand, and they're pretty much the only ones I've used, and they do a fantastic job. So they wash my fleeces as well, which is brilliant for me because I'm allergic to lanolin, and so washing them, I do end up with quite sore hands. So this was the original piece of fleece that I sent. This is a Perrindale fleece. And it is from a friend who raises sheep in Wyndham, which is down south near Edendale. And she gave me a huge fleece a couple of years ago now. And I didn't know how to spin from locks. I was totally out of my depth. So a lot of that fleece ended up getting given to other people because honestly, a whole fleece for me was too much. Now,
overwhelming.
Now I could probably deal with it, but a whole fleece at that point was a bit too much. So I have kept probably about a quarter of the fleece, and the rest of it has been given to fibre friends, and there's been some lovely things that have been made from it, so that's really good. So this is my spinning so far. I'm not aiming for a particular weight or anything like that. I'm just spinning it how it is. I have noticed that it's really coarse. And I think I'm used to spinning with like merino and silk, and I can smooth everything out. And this, I just can't smooth it. It's very fuzzy. So it's a new experience for me. But this is it here. And my aim for this, so with all of my fleeces, I'm now quite into spinning from fleeces. And with all of them, there is a project on Ravelry, and it's a little sheep or a little lamb. And my aim is to get enough wool out of each fleece that I can then knit up a lamb. So I want to do it, kind of change the pattern a little bit to give it the characteristics of that particular breed. And then that for me is also just a way of, not remembering, but documenting what the wool spins up like, what it knits up like, all that kind of thing. So that's my aim for this. In my little project bag, this is one that I was given that it hangs on my wheel, and I can just put my fibre in it when I'm not spinning.
That's very handy.
So then I don't have to break off the fibre and all that. So it's it's really, really good. It's just this shape and just two sides sewn together, but it works fantastically. So that's really good. And then this is the fibre carded, not spun. What am I on about? So that's that there. So that's from, I'll give some photos because the camera isn't picking it up very well, but there's the carded lot and the raw fleece. So that's my spinning. So hopefully I managed to get a lamb's worth out of it within the next 2 weeks, and then I can crack on with trying to knit a lamb, which will be a new challenge.
Awesome.
As Nina said before, we attended the Creative Fibre Open Day. So that was, in New Zealand, we've got different creative fibre clubs. So they're part of a whole nationally, but there's different areas that you can join. So Nina and I attend the Tyree Spinners and Weavers, and they were the ones that held the open day. So I was a little bit late to the day, so I missed out on the first section, but I believe that you were there, and there was a talk.
It was a really interesting talk held by one of the members, and she studied herbalism, so she knows quite a lot about what to do with plants and all these crafty things, sort of natural dyeing, that kind of thing. So she gave a talk on different weeds in your garden that you can actually eat or use for medicinal purposes. And that was really interesting. She had calendula, which is sort of like a marigold, with the orange flowers. And I've got a lot of that growing at home. She was talking about how you can use it as like a balm, and it's really good for healing skin. It's really soothing. So yeah, after that, I went home. I picked all my flowers and I dried them in the oven. So I picked off the petals, dried them in the oven, and now I've got a jar of oil on my sunny kitchen window with all the flowers suspended in it. So I'm going to make some calendula balm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, awesome. Well, you have to let us know how that goes.
Yeah, I will.
Sounds really good. Yeah.
Mm.
So I think the beginning of the day was just traders and things.
Yeah.
And then they had that talk, which I arrived halfway through. So my mum and I spent time looking at the exhibition. So there were entries from all of the creative fibre members. Can't think of the right word. And yeah, they were fantastic. There were a lot of rugs and throws, and then there was some felted pieces and shawls.
So incredible.
Yeah, and heaps of different techniques, which was really, really cool. But I realised that I missed a section of it. I don't know where it was, or if you saw it, the competition section.
Yes, I tried to go in there to have a look, but they were judging at the time, so I had to leave.
Yeah. So both of us missed out on seeing the ones that were entered into the competition, but no doubt there will be some on Facebook or something that we can check up on. And then after the hot talk was the traders.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah,
because, I think we don't get much of that around here, do we?
No,
we don't have any yarn festivals as such, and it's a real shame because
we need a Rhinebeck.
We need a Rhinebeck, or Edinburgh Yarn Fest or something like that.
Yeah, because I think Dunedin had creative fibre. Would have been nearly 3 years ago now. Yeah, that's when I started college, so it's nearing on 4. And that was fantastic because we got heaps of traders to that. But I know that there's Unwind Fibre Retreat coming up.
Early next year.
And they have some traders to that as well. But other than that, we don't really get anything, so I feel a little bit fibre deprived. But that's what Etsy's for.
True.
So yeah, I did do my best not to buy things. So I managed not to buy any yarn, which is good because I do not need more yarn. And then I was going to not buy any fibre, and then I found fleeces, and I've developed a soft spot for fleeces.
Yes.
So I couldn't not buy some.
But you didn't buy a whole fleece, did you?
I didn't, because I already have 4, and I thought buying another one was a bit excessive hope. So this is what I bought, and I won't unpack it because it'll explode. I should have thought of this before I left the house, but you can see it through the bag, so I will take some photos and put that up. But there was a trader that I had never seen before, and I've got the name of their company is Fine Fibre Yarns, and they're from Waimate. So that's, is it in
north of Oamaru?
Yeah, but is it inland?
It is inland. So
yeah.
So we're on the coast.
We're on the coast. So Oamaru is north from us. So it's like that way and that way. I'm sure you can look it up on the map. But yeah, so they're Fine Fibre Farms, and he had some beautiful fleeces, and they were so clean. So I couldn't resist. I bought 100 grams of 4 different fleeces. So we will go through them in order. We'll try to anyway. So down this end is Polwarth Merino. And it's really interesting because to me, the crimps on the Merino and the Polwarth are very similar. So it'll be really interesting to see how they spin up. I've never spun Polwarth on its own. I've spun it blended with silk, which I'm guessing would really change the way in which you spin it. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm thinking that because they're such small quantities, I will just wash them by hand and then flick card the ends and spin like that. But yeah, they were really decently priced. I think I was $2.50 per 100 grams.
That's pretty good.
And then they also sell, is it sliver? Is that how you pronounce it? I always want to call it silver because I flip the letters around. And they also do roving as well. And those are slightly different prices because they've been processed. But yeah, the guy was absolutely fantastic to speak to and told me a lot about the fibres and let me feel them all, which was really nice. So that was my purchase there. And he also complimented us on being the youngest there.
Oh, you did mention that, didn't he? Yes.
Yeah, he said it was really nice to see some young people.
I did meet one other lady, and she was probably about 30 or so. She had a few kids, so yeah, we were the youngest.
Yeah, it seems to be that way in New Zealand, but anything fibre or knitting related is generally an older
ladies, grandmas,
yeah, which is really cool because I think like they do have a wealth of knowledge, and it's really good to tap into that. But I do wish that it was more, I guess, trendy with people our age. But I think New Zealand has always been a make it yourself kind of country.
That's true.
So we've been brought up that grandmas do that. And so people still have the perception that
there's a bit of a stigma attached to it, I guess.
Yeah. Whereas in the States and things, I think in some areas, and this is a total generalization, it's a relatively new thing to do, and therefore it's quite cool because it doesn't have that connection to your grandma. Grandmas are incredible, by the way.
Yes, they're awesome.
Yeah, mine taught me to crochet, so I owe her. But yeah, I wonder if that's kind of part of why there's not as many young people in New Zealand.
Yeah, I don't know. I always, I talk to people my own age. They're like, oh, you knit. I'm like, yeah, have you ever tried? And they're like, oh, my grandma sort of taught me, but I didn't really do it. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
So, I'm glad I found you, though, because I've always wanted someone, like a friend who was interested in the same crafty, fibre things.
Yeah. Because it's quite lonely doing it on your own.
It is.
It's nice to do, but it's really good to have someone to do with it.
Definitely.
Yeah. But what about you? Did you get anything?
I bought the fleeces. Like I was talking these. I don't actually have the. I bought 500 grams of each, by the way. So.
And who were they from?
They are from Tally Ho Wool Carding. So they're from Roxburgh and Central Otago. And the reason why I bought Romney and Merino was because last year I did a similar project where I got a kilo of fleece and I dyed it all up, colored it, spun it. But it was really ultra fine merino. So it was beautifully soft and I enjoyed the whole process. But the jumper itself, the cardigan itself, has felted really badly because it's just such fine fibre. It just felts, with any kind of wear. But this, I believe, will be harder wearing because it's a bit coarser. Yeah. And I'm going to spin it a bit finer this time as well.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. So acquisitions this week, do you have any?
I do, but I didn't bring them along.
Next time.
Yeah.
Slot them and make it like a double. So I do have some. I bought some circular needles from the Op Shop of all places. I don't know where they're from. To be fair, I'm not even going to try and guess because I can't read the writing.
Chinese.
Is it Chinese?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. There we go. From China. But these are the ones that I bought. And I really like them because some of them have a different cord in the middle.
What is that? Like twisted wire inside?
Yeah. Seems to be like a coated. Whoops, we are tangled already. This is not good. It's like a coated wire.
Ooh, that looks really strong, actually.
Yeah.
And flexible too.
Yeah. So we'll see how it goes because I have no idea how it will go, but I thought they looked a little bit different, and I can never have too many circular needles, although there is a possibility I could go overboard at some point. But yeah, and they looked at most of them are about sock size. I think I got 3 that are sock size and 2 that are slightly bigger. So it'll enable me to have more projects on the go, which I don't need.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they were I think they were like $5 each or something. And I thought, well, I'll give it a try because they're only $5. So that was my
really good.
Yeah. So that was my acquisition this week, along with my fibre. Have you been anywhere, done anything, seen anything this week?
I've been pretty busy with study because it's the last few weeks of term, or the year really, so it's a lot of assignments and stuff. But
crazy hectic.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
What about you?
Well, I've been to the botanics quite a bit. So when the weather's clear, I really enjoy going up there. We don't have much of a garden at home, so walking around the botanics is really nice.
Yeah.
And I've been discovering a lot of the tracks. I didn't realise just how many tracks there were.
There are a lot of hidden places up there. Yeah.
Which is really, really cool. So they also had the rhododendron open day.
Mm-hmm.
And I went up there to have a little nosy. It was the day either before or after. And it was beautiful. It had just rained, so all of the flowers were out. And you know when it rains, the scent of the flowers seems to just fill the air?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, it was like that. It was really, really nice. So I will pop in a picture of that. And then the other thing was I got to go and see some little lambs. So I have friends out in Palmerston, and they own a sheep farm, and they had some wee lambs that were being hand reared for one reason or another. And I got to feed my first lamb, which was really cool. So I've fed like calves and things before. I've had friends on dairy farms and milked cows and fed calves. And feeding lambs was quite different.
Yeah.
There was a different technique because you've actually got to get the bottle in their mouth when they're like really young. Once they're a little bit older and they know what the teat is and everything, they just go for it. But when they're really young or if they're sickly, then you need to get the teat in. So it's like working out how to get it in there and hold them, and there was a whole heap of stuff. So it was a bit of a learning curve for me, but I really enjoyed it, and hearing them was quite cool, hearing all the wee bleating and everything.
Oh, that's so cute.
But I'm sure it probably gets old pretty quickly, especially if you have to get up frequently to feed them.
How often do you have to feed them?
I think they got, it depends on the ages, but I think one lot got fed twice a day, and the other lot, I think it was possibly 4 times a day. So,
wow.
Yeah, it just depended on the age of the lamb. But so that's what I have done in the past 2 weeks. Not a lot, but enough for me. So, Cool. So we'll pop videos and photos of that at the end. And as always, any questions about anything we've done or our projects, feel free to comment below or find them on Ravelry or Instagram.
And you can click the subscribe button down the bottom too.
Yes, that's a very good button to click. But thank you very much for watching. We really appreciate it. And we will see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
See ya.